Namaste and welcome. Today it is my honor and pleasure to introduce to our Ekal supporters a very special individual all the way from India, Geetha Kothapalli. Geetha ji, namaste.
Namaskar.
Geetha ji is a former MP from the Araku Valley constituency, a member of the tribal community in Andhra. She, along with her father, have been one of the first generation graduates of that area. And also she herself is a first generation politician. She started her career out as a bank manager and went on to become the deputy collector in that area. Later, she ran for office and was elected from the Araku Valley constituency. Currently, she is planning to again run for elections and hopefully bring development to the tribals, which is her passion. She runs a very important trust called Geetha, which is General Environmental Education for Tribal Health Action, whose focus is to bring better services to the tribals in Andhra Pradesh. It is such a pleasure, Geetha ji, to talk to you and welcome to talk to our Ekal guests here. As you know, Ekal is very focused on bringing development to tribal areas. So it's so exciting to meet somebody from that community who has worked so hard to bring development to tribals. So could you tell us a little bit about the tribal communities in Andhra Pradesh and what opportunities and challenges do they face?
Namaskar, Rajni. It's indeed my pleasure to speak to you on this occasion. Uh, I hail from the Valmiki sect of the tribals, which is a hill tribe basically. The tribals of two different sects. One is the hill tribe and the plain tribes. You have plain tribes across the state, but hill tribes basically are confined to the mountain area or the agency tracts, which is basically in Arku, Andhra Pradesh, Arku, East Godavari, means Vishakhapatnam, Vijayanagaram, Srikakulam, and East Godavari has got this agency tracts basically. They are called the hill tribes. So we belong to the sect of hill tribes basically. The other communities, like, there are other tribes like Yerukula, Yenadi, all these are called the ordinary tribal community. So they are there across the state. So this part of the hill area tribal community, they are the most backward in terms of economic or educational or environmental. They are completely disconnected from the outside world. My father was tribal from the East Godavari agency area, wherein, Christianity was widespread at that point of time. And the missionaries there have selected a few intelligent boys to study. And my father was one of them. And he was educated by the missionaries till 12th standard, and they wanted him to become the priest basically. But by the time he finished his PUC, they used to call it PUC at that point of time. The moment he finished his PUC, the missionary actually who educated my father, he died. So the next missionary, he said he will again preach after he finishes his graduation. So because he was little bright, they made him study graduation. And after that, he wrote a revenue exam and he got selected. He became the Tasildar, he became a deputy collector, and he became a collector, retired as a collector. So he just grew like that.
Yeah.
So he always had the passion that he wanted to do something for his community and for the area where he comes from. So even after retirement, because I was born at a very late age, my father retired when I was in, I think I was in seventh year.
Oh.
I was 7 years old when my father retired. So my father has dedicated all his life to the tribals after his retirement. He lived for another 15 years. He expired at the age of 75. But after that, he retired at 58 only. Then the retirement age was 58. So the rest of his life, for 17, 18 years, he devoted his life to serve the tribals in every way, whatever possible, in supporting them in their livelihoods, in providing them education, in providing them aid, in providing them knowledge.
Yeah.
Because there were so many acquisitions, rivers, water, the cultivation, everything. He used to have a lot of passion in working for them. That was the main drive that was the main drive which has actually inspired me, because my father always said, so many people will actually assess the people who are rich and who can afford to do it.
Right.
But the thing is, nobody will come and support the people who are left over behind.
Right.
Even today, I feel that, the reservations which are supposed to reach these tribals don't reach them,
Right.
because they are not even intellectually equipped to even grab the benefit that the government has given them. One person in a family becomes a gazetted officer.
Yeah.
His children, his children, his children, only that generation, only that it will go just like a legacy, that they only enjoy the benefit. But it doesn't, when IAS officers' children, for example, my children,
Right.
my children, and if I put the person in the tribal areas, their children on one platform, definitely my children will get
Yeah.
they will definitely succeed.
Succeed.
So the problem is, there is no, you cannot compare a children who has already come out of the area and have been successful to the
Right.
children who are already left over there. So
Right.
the leftover children even today have been there only.
Right. Right.
I feel
So,
that lot of this, actually, whatever the government is giving, also they're not able to reach, or they're not able to grab the opportunities
opportunity. And this
because
is
of
where I think very, very good to hear that, because this is exactly where we at Ekal are really trying to make a difference, where we are trying to go out into the villages, bring the opportunities to the villages, and also, make people aware of the government schemes, government opportunities. So it sounds like you agree that that's a very, very important work to do. Would you say, Geetha ji?
Yes, yes, yes. I firmly agree on that. And I've always, whenever I used to actually meet the PM, I had a, let me call. I was, in fact, very lucky to have his appointment more than 20 times during my tenure.
Wow.
So I always used to tell him, this creamy layer has to go. For example, I have not claimed reservation for my children, because
Wow.
they're far beyond the reservation scenario. My husband is from the non-tribal community.
Yeah.
Anyhow, that we have been successful. I don't want my children to get into this reservation process at all. They
Wow.
are treated as OCs only.
Wow.
Only me, because my father was from that area, I was actually being, because I had my certificates. I can't deny I'm not a tribal now, but I
Ab-
don't mind giving up my reservation also, so that
That's
somebody will get the benefit of it. We are not here to grab all opportunities, but to
right.
share the opportunity with our own people. We should
Totally.
not be, I
Yeah.
always tell my people, we should not be a hurdle for the others' development.
But
So
we
that is,
really need to work to, and so that's what you have done during your MP time. You were representing the Araku constituency, which is pretty, very, very, again, lot of tribals there, a lot of people who are denied opportunities for a very long time. Could you tell us the top three things that you think people in these areas would need?
first of all, people need education. You know, the problem is, primary problems of, food, clothing, shelter are always an issue in the tribal area. But if somebody has to actually cross over these three economic issues, the main issue is they have to be educated. They have to have awareness of what is happening around them. They are not having that awareness. Even today, if you see the remote areas, whatever people talk that no, so many tribals are always have already come out of the poverty and all. But if you go into the interior areas, you find people who cannot even wear proper clothes, and they don't have awareness of what is happening. They don't have awareness at all. Education, awareness, and health. All these three aspects are very important in the tribal area, in the rural areas, particularly the remote tribal areas I'm talking about. It's very important for us to provide these three. For this, what I did is, for my side, what I thought is, because there is no connectivity, the basic problem comes with connectivity.
Mm.
So I, as an MP, I tried to provide maximum connectivity to these villages. During my tenure, I'm blessed that Narendra Modi ji, in his uh, allotment of funds, he has allotted more than 5,000 crores to my constituency for the purpose of building roads and connectivity to the villages.
Wow.
Because they're very scattered. They're not at one place, there are so many tandas, 20, 30, 40 houses. They're not like together.
Yeah.
So what happens is, to reach these people itself is a bigger task.
Right.
There are some villages even today wherein we have to walk for a day to reach that place.
Right.
So maximum connectivity I could achieve,
Right.
maximum. And electrification was a major problem. There was no power also in many of the villages. We could achieve 100% electricity.
Wow.
We could electrify it 100%.
Right.
So, and communication wise, network definitely, even today you can't say there's full network, but at least 50% network we could achieve. Internet we could achieve, because nowadays the teaching methods are also through the internet.
Right.
And whatever we have to do, unless somebody, even if we appoint a teacher, we never know whether they are going there or not,
Yes.
because there is no neither connectivity. That's the main problem. There are teachers, there are medical practitioners, but they don't go there.
Right.
They just write in the books that they've gone there. So
Right.
the problem is, the more you don't have connectivity, the more you don't have surveillance. The
Right.
more you don't have surveillance, again, whatever we are doing for the community, will again go in waste. So
Right.
these are the issues that I have identified as a.
That's beautiful. And actually, with when we look at Ekal's work, we are bringing technology in, and we keep hearing that people like you have brought these kind of connectivities and into the villages. Electricity and connectivity that can really transform the village, where we can bring telemedicine, we can bring e-shiksha and other opportunities that can really bring development to these areas without really having roads or those kinds of things. I think technology is going to make the big difference, and I'm really kudos to you, Geetha ji, for doing that. And so it sounds like what we are doing is very aligned with your understanding of what the tribals are, the needs are. And am I right with that, to
Yes,
say that?
yes, I do agree. I agree. And whatever you're doing it, the technology on wheels and all, it's a very good concept, to bring in technology through a
Van.
mobile van is very good, because a lot of people can't go and establish there,
Yeah.
at least once in a while, if the van, few villages can be covered.
Yeah.
It's not standard at one place. Some people may come, they may not come. They have a lot of other issues. Sending girls is a big issue. Even today, educating girls in the tribal area is a very, very, very hectic task.
Yeah.
It requires a lot of concentration to actually provide that sort of awareness, to influence them to send the girls to the school.
Yeah.
Even if you're giving food, even if you give anything, they will not agree.
Agree. And
So that
actually,
is the main.
we have had a lot of success. Again, I'm so glad you're reiterating that, because we've heard many stories where the teachers had to go into the village and really establish
A
credibility,
personal rapport.
and then talk to the villagers to say, hey, send your daughters, and of course having the school in the village makes it very easy, much easier for the women to come to school. And also Ekal on Wheels, I know a lot of women say, oh, you're bringing the digital literacy to our doorstep, so then we can go in and use it. Nobody will go out to a city to get some digital literacy. So wow, I'm so glad to hear you kind of affirm that these are good programs to do.
Very
So
good programs. Very
that
good programs.
and
I'm glad to be. I'll be very, very glad to be associated with you, because I believe in one thing. I believe everybody's life has got a purpose. I'm here in politics to do something for not only my community, for the humanity at large. Whatever I can do in
sure.
my own way.
Right.
So I'm not a regular politician basically, because politics has never been my bread and butter, nor my. Uh, I don't want to do politics to
Yes.
become a politician, but I want to do some service. Which actually, when we go, every one of us, we have to go with some source of happiness, and some conscious. You have that conscious that yes, you have done this. My father, when he died, 1 lakh people have come to see him in one day
Oh
for the
my.
service he have done. Not my family, but others cried, saying that who else we will depend upon after you leave.
Oh
So
my.
there is that situation which has inspired me a lot. I always thought whatever we do in the last days of our life, we should have that sort of satisfaction and contentment. So I thought, let me do something, whatever possible. God has anyhow given me a good life, a good
Oh,
family,
yeah. No, that's
wonderful children.
that's really fantastic. And I think you are the very example of showing how, by empowering a person from these communities, how much impact they can have on the world. Like you said, your
Yes,
father was educated, and he impacted thousands, not just one, or lakhs,
not just
as
one.
you said, right? So I think the importance of bringing such opportunities to people in these communities is so critical, because I think the benefit they will give to the world will be a better place because of people like you, Geetha ji, and your father. So it's a really, really, you're a testament to the importance of our work, that we are doing. And really, Geetha ji, we look forward to working with you to bring a change in those areas where you are, so that the world at large can be better, but especially in the areas of Andhra
They
Pradesh
travel.
where
The
there
most
is a
vulnerable areas.
most
Yeah.
vulnerable areas that we can make a difference. So more power to you, Geetha ji, and we look forward to continuing to stay in touch. And thank you for taking the time to talk to us today. Namaste. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rajni. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you.